Hey everyone, good morning. I hope you're doing well this morning. I hope you had a good night's rest, getting ready for the workday. As always, I appreciate you joining us for our Wednesday Wisdom. This is episode number 8. We started last week in looking at the book of Proverbs and other wisdom literature of the Old Testament concerning our emotions, concerning the things that get the best of us and that we want to clean out, if you will. And last week we talked about anxiety, we talked about worry, and how Solomon says that the remedy, at least from his perspective, one of the remedies for worry and anxiousness is a kind word that is timely or fitly spoken. Hopefully you were able to practice that. Hopefully you were able to give that to someone within the past week, and someone was able to give it to you. This morning I wanted to talk about something on the other extreme, where worry and anxiety cripple us and get the best of us. There is another emotion on the other side that it can be just as damaging and just as crippling. But more than anything else, it can be devastating. And that is our anger, our tempers. I don't know about you, but it just seems to be that our society is addicted to anger. We look for reasons to be angry. We look for reasons to stay angry. We are a society that doesn't reconcile very well. We're a society that just finds anything and everything that we can to be angry at the drop of a hat. But truth be told, I know I struggle with it, and I'm pretty sure that you do as well. So how do we handle our anger? As I was thinking about it, when it comes to our anger, there's not a lot of things that we can control. We don't control the people that get under our skin. We can't control the events that frustrate us. But what we can always control is how we react to these things, how we can react to people, how we respond to them. And that's where Solomon's wisdom comes in, and it becomes so valuable to our daily life. Listen to this in Proverbs 14:29. That whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts folly. Solomon says, let me give you an individual, a person. And he is in a moment, and he's got to make a split-second decision to how he's going to react, and how he's going to respond to something or to someone that is beyond his control. On one hand, he can respond slowly and with great understanding. He can be patient. Or he can respond hastily. He can respond quickly and recklessly. Solomon says either way, it reveals a lot about the individual, that if you respond in slowness, if you respond in patience, it shows the wisdom that you've got. But if you respond recklessly, if this individual responds hastily with his temper, with his anger, and this principle really can apply to any emotion, but if he responds in those ways, then it shows the foolishness that he lives by, or that she lives by. My hope is that all of us are working towards, when things like that happen, to where we will react slowly. That we will react with wisdom, because that is the one thing that we can control. In talking to a really, really good friend of mine yesterday, someone whose opinion and thought that I value very, very much, and kind of going over this and getting some thoughts and opinions and feedback from this specific Wednesday Wisdom, I was reminded of a quote that I came across a few years ago. You may have read it, you may have heard it, but in that conversation I was reminded of it. And this quote, I don't know who the author is, I don't know who spoke it originally. If you could help me out, that would be wonderful with that. But here's this quote, and it's a great principle to live by, and it goes hand in hand with the wisdom that Solomon passes on to us, and it's this: that a moment of patience and a moment of anger saves us 100 moments of regret. And how true that quote is when it comes to our temper and our anger. That we see so much damage being done, and after we have calmed down and after we have cooled off, we look back and we are just overwhelmed with the disbelief that we could do so much, or that somebody else could do so much damage with an anger and with temper. Once I remember that quote, I've tried not to forget it. I've been going over it and over and over it, because not just to pass it on to you this morning, but hopefully it's something for me to live by myself. So again, as we close out this Wednesday wisdom, our anger, our temper is not so much about how we act as much as how we react. And Solomon in his wisdom says, react slowly. React with great understanding. Don't react in hastiness. Don't react at the drop of a hat. Don't react recklessly. Instead, sometimes being a wise person is just simply how you're going to react to things and people that are beyond your control. And don't forget that a moment of patience and a moment of anger will save you 100 moments of regret. As always, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching this because someone else shared it, thank you for watching it. I hope that you will share it with your friends and your family. If you live in the Raleigh area, we would love to have you come by, pay us a visit at the Raleigh Church of Christ, 911 Behringer Drive, Raleigh, North Carolina. We have Bible study tonight at 7. If you're unable to join us, we would love to see you, Lord willing, on Sunday. We have Bible study at 9:30. And our morning worship at 10:30. But again, thank you so much for being here. I hope that you have a fantastic day and a blessed day. Bye-bye.